This walking bag of used spam that's occupying the White House not only is already suing the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. IRS for releasing his tax documents, even though he was in office at the time, for $10 billion, a foolish number that's straight out of an Austin Powers movie. He has also pledged another $10 billion to start this peace council that he made up. Nobody knows where that money is going. Meanwhile, starting a war. Nobody's talking about the fact that he put $500 million to $1.2 billion in a Qatar bank after taking Venezuelan oil. They're never going to see that money. Time and time again, we're being bent over with no Vaseline, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag. Donald Trump is a con artist. He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
Greetings to everyone. Welcome to Red Ninja Network. I'm Mr. Red. What's disturbing right now is that Donald Trump is doing a bunch of moves that, in my opinion, aren't getting enough news. I've already reported on the oil deal and the money potentially going to offshore banks, them asking for more money for a war that he started, knowing that the midterms are coming up and that this man wants to continue war efforts all the way until the midterms so that he could try to cancel elections, even though elections are up to the state, not up to him. It's a little bit different than in these other countries. But that's not where we're going to start today. Where we're going to start today is that one Robert Mueller died. Now, Robert Mueller, if you don't remember, has been one of the longest serving directors of the FBI since J. Edgar Hoover. And he was the one that was investigating Trump ties to Russia. This walking turd bag decides he is going to smear the name of Robert Mueller. And the man hasn't even been dead a day yet. But I want you to remember that it was the same Donald Trump when Charlie Kirk was unalived that said that his side doesn't do that.
They're already under investigation.
Have you asked to start revoking the visas of those who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death?
What?
Have you asked to start revoking the visas of the foreigners who have celebrated Charlie Kirk's death?
No, we haven't, but we are looking at names. We don't like that. That's not right. We wouldn't celebrate if something happened on their side, and we don't. These are sick people. These are really deranged people.
Now, I know you can't read the full screen, but I'm going to read it for you. Basically, it says that this was Trump's reaction on people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And what he said is, we wouldn't celebrate if something happened on their side, and we don't. These are sick, really sick, deranged people. That's what Trump said. Now, if you look at the tweet down below, you can almost see it said from Donald Trump, quote, Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. This is the President of the United States who has no decorum. And maybe his people like that. But this is something that is obviously a character flaw. As I've stated many times on this channel, this dude is a narcissist sociopath. He doesn't feel anything and he doesn't have empathy. When someone passed out right in front of him, he didn't think twice. He just looked forward toward the cameras because he feels no empathy. If this had been the only thing that was reported that Donald Trump said, it would almost not be shocking. But there's something more dangerous and more insidious that Donald Trump just said.
We have some news right now. The President of the United States is now saying that with the death of Iran, the next biggest threat to the United States of America is the, quote, radical left, the Democrats. I'm not making this up. At the same time, he's confirming that ICE will be present at airports across the country in just 24 hours. It's a Real Truth Social post from minutes ago. Quote, now with the death of Iran, the greatest enemy America has is the radical left, highly incompetent Democrat Party. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then he said, on Monday, ICE will be going to airports to help our wonderful TSA agents who have stayed on the job despite the fact that the radical left Democrats were only focused on protecting hardline criminals who have entered our country illegally are endangering the USA.
This is disturbing. The man who is supposed to be the president of the United States, not the president of just MAGA, and not the president of just the Republicans or the right, he is the president of the whole entire United States. And every other president has understood that except this man who is vengeful, who has no empathy, wants to get revenge. Well, not just get revenge. He's the one that's going to, harm your animals while you're away. And the fact that this man blames everything on the left, everything, like Republicans have done no wrong. It's amazing to me how people got all these goddamn opinions, but they've never served a day in the military. And if they have, they didn't serve long, because any real leader wouldn't speak that way. Any real leader took their oath to the Constitution seriously, knows that this isn't a president, this isn't a leader, this is much less even a man. The reason why black people can't trust Republicans is because they don't care about democracy. They don't care about, having more people vote or be in the democratic process. They have no good ideas, so they cheat to win.
Breaking news. Mike Johnson just got caught on a hot mic saying how huge it would be for Republicans if the SAVE Act actually went through, because they would lose 18% of voter turnout.
Well, we thought it would be 12, but it looked like maybe 18%. That'd be huge for us. That'd be huge for us.
Yeah, you heard that right. Literally saying how huge it would be for the Republican Party if the SAVE Act actually happened, because it would result in 18% less voter turnout. 18% less.
Spineless Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, caught on a hot mic. He doesn't care about free and fair elections. He's a liar just like Trump. These people are happy that he's doing what he's doing. Don't ever get it twisted to think that these people are upset and, oh my God, they're resigning in protest. No, they were actually on board with a lot of what President Trump is doing. You can look at their voting records and see that. But the fact that this SAVE Act, they know what they're doing. This has been pushed from the very top. Trump has let them know that if we get out of office, we are going to be exposed and we may go to jail and we might have prosecution against us if we go ahead and leave. You all do not understand that the SAVE Act isn't saving anybody. It's a way for them to be able to do voter disenfranchisement, which they did in the last election. So all you Hispanic people and Asian people and, white people who support this guy, or you don't support the same people that black people support, we can't trust you. You're just as bad as the Republicans in some ways, because you can't see the game. They've tried to get rid of us and do whatever they can, even suppress our votes. Why? If you got good ideas and if your policies really work, why do you have to cheat? Nobody can explain that shit. They gaslight you with some, it's the Democrats that are cheating and the radical left, these names. You know why they do use these names like the radical left? They do it because it works on weak-ass minded people. Oh, the criminals, the migrant criminals, the illegals, all of these words, these buzzwords. You know who they work on? People with the IQ of a piece of shit. The IQ of a slow amoeba. And even an amoeba has at least one more brain cell than the people who support this shit right here. This fucking lard-ass piece of shit are the same people who sit there and say, yeah, I want to go to war. Then go! Get your ass down there and, that's right. You're a fat, lard piece of shit. So you're probably not going to pass the standards to be able to get in. You're the dudes that's cosplaying military. You are the guys that are cosplaying like you're hard. You all are cosplaying because you're scared and you're fucking weak and you have no discipline And the reason why you all voted for Trump because he's a lard-ass piece of shit, just like you all are.
I haven't seen one news story talking about how the lines are out the door and around the block at military recruiting stations. And I'm just wondering, where are you, MAGA? You guys been waiting to fight Muslim countries and Sharia law ever since 9/11. Where y'all at? They're sending more troops over there because you can't win a war against a country like that from the sky. All the military analysts around the world are saying they're sending more troops, ground troops, and asking for $200 billion. And a couple of years ago, y'all was complaining about the price of eggs. Y'all were complaining about your farms going under. Y'all complaining about healthcare, complaining about student loans, complaining about the cost of bread. And now your guy is making war in the Middle East and they need military. You guys are popping off online. You got all this time online. You've been playing Call of Duty for years. This is your time. Where y'all at?
If you guys could cheat, the Republicans can cheat in elections to try to get elected because they don't have any good policies, then everybody with them red hats should be on the front lines right now fighting. I don't even give a damn. Put the old fuckers on the front line too. Put them on the front line too. Because there's no helping or saving some of you guys. And the worst part about it is, as this man said, you guys have been hating on black and brown people forever. You have an opportunity now to go ahead and affect the future outcome of this country by being on the front lines. Matter of fact, I don't see enough of you. Where are the Proud Boys? Why aren't they proud no more? Why aren't they proud to be on the front lines? Oh, that's right. They have been recruited by ICE. Where is the people with the white sheets at? Where are they at? Oh. They won't get on the front lines either. You know why? They're going to be people in the airports helping TSA. That's where they're at. We right now are in an open air prison. You don't even realize it. You can't get out anywhere. I started thinking about what happens if you leave now, and now fuel shortages are going to affect all the countries. Everybody who has taken our dollar and used it as their currency or used it to back themselves, the ripple effect of this is devastating. It's starting to make me think that Trump and the people puppeteering him actually wanted this to happen. They wanted to topple all of this so that they can bring about their evil ass plans. And at first I didn't see it, but I see it now. Why would you start this? Was this just about it's not real getting more land in the Middle East? No. That's part of it too. They want to topple this world. And they think they knew that Donald Trump was their best option to make it happen.
Okay, so I posted a video about how I wanted the left and the right to come together to join forces and actually fight against the government. And when I say the government, I'm not saying, oh my God, I regret voting for Trump. It's all the Republicans, they're all so bad. When I posted that, it was intended so that they realized everyone is bad. Not just Trump, not just Clintons, they're all owned. They're all owned by AIPAC. They're all owned by Israel.
Crystal Beth, let's not play this game. Is this y'all new thing now? Now y'all want to be fucking kumbaya? No, bitch, thoughts and tariffs. This is what y'all voted for. Look here, meth head Methany. The only reason you want to come together is because you realizing your vote affected you. You realize that man don't give a fuck about y'all. You thought because you was white, blonde, and Botox the fuck out that you are going to survive these 4 years. No, bitch, none of us are surviving. Maybe next time you will understand that racism is very fucking expensive. And it doesn't just cost us, it costs you too. Now y'all want to be against Israel. We told you that shit during the fucking election. That motherfucking office was bought and paid for. Y'all didn't give a fuck. Y'all just wanted the illegals gone. Y'all wanted black women at the bottom. Y'all wanted y'all whiteness not to be shameful. How the fuck does it look now for y'all?
How do you follow up with that? She's absolutely correct. Like, how are we supposed to trust when in the last election in Texas, instead of voting in Jasmine Crockett, no matter what you might think about her, the numbers suggested that you all are still looking for a white savior. That's exactly what y'all looking for. Even though Jasmine Crockett has been fighting on the side of the people, putting pressure on these people. I get it. Tallarico might be a good guy. It might sound all good, but you had someone in there that was a fighter. And I still have a video to put out for that. The point is, I had a conversation in the chat of one of my videos, and the thing about it is, right now, it's a little hard for us to trust our white allies. It's a little hard for us to trust white people because white people they're eerily silent. If you come in my comments talking right now about they're all bad when there's only one party in charge right now, I'm gonna block your ass. I just want you to know. I don't want you to be surprised. We don't trust all of you. If you want to be an ally, shut your ass up and do what you need to do. Speak out. Be outgoing. Be open about it. But all that silence shit, and now you want to kumbaya, that shit is done. We don't trust you. You all brought this shit about. You all need to go on the front lines and fight for this shit for the person that you stayed silent when all the shit was going on.
Now that all these black people are free, they're gonna ruin our society and make us all poor. Well, we're getting poorer, but the black people are still poor. It must be those damn socialists. Still getting poorer, the black people are still poor, the socialists are all broke. The Muslims attacked! Invade their country! Still getting poorer, the black people are still poor, the socialists are still poor, all the Muslim countries are poor. What's going on? It has to be the illegal immigrants. We're all still poor and there's a global pandemic? It's obviously anybody who won't wear a mask and get a vaccine that's the problem. Everyone's still poor and getting poorer except the extreme elite. Fuck it, it's all of them. Muslims, illegal immigrants, socialists, it's all of them. They're the ones still... That's what the group in power does to keep themselves in power and you out of it. Pay attention and help put an end to it.
Again, we've seen this story. We've seen how they continuously want to move the goalposts to benefit them. And it's always a new day. You have to understand that we've seen this game now. Everything going on right now has opened black people's eyes, at least the sensible ones, all right? Not the dumbass MAGA ones. But sensible black people are like, this whole thing is rigged. We knew it was rigged, but now you all are openly showing your disdain. And now you want us to just believe you again? No. No. We are not our ancestors, people. We are not just going to believe anything everyone says anymore. We're done. There's no reconciling this. Republicans, we will never trust Republicans again because Republicans talked a good game about how evil Trump was. They knew how bad this dude was, and yet they supported him anyway. That right there shows that there is willful complicity to what's going on, and we will never accept that shit. And if you accept it, you're just as dumb and complicit as they are. And when this country falls, history will look back. You will be one of the dumbasses that it writes about. Why were people so stupid? It'll be you.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy.
Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
And my concern is that he would grab up that power and really treat the country as sort of his little bully fiefdom.
Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten.
He's been exploiting working Americans for 40 years. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He says he's for the little guy, but he's actually built a lot of his businesses on the backs of the little guy.
You know, Donald Trump the other day said that, quote, if he tells a soldier to commit a war crime, the soldier will just go do it.
I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution.
A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
It's not just Trump being the problem. The truth is the Republican Party itself and some of the corporate Democrats are the problem. They've been going back and forth, taking money from the same people, which is why one side gives you nothing but promises, and the other side only gives you breadcrumbs and fecklessness. In 2026, the Republican Party has the House, the Senate, the presidency, and even the Supreme Court majority. There are no excuses. And I promise you right now that MAGA, Republicans, right-wingers, they're going to move the goalposts. They're going to act like, oh, it's everybody. Everybody did this. They're going to say they were never really a part of this. They're going to try to make you forget what side they were on when all this was going on. And there is a reason that Republicans should never be in power again.
Republicans can never be allowed to lead the United States ever again, and I don't say that emotionally. I say that from a global perspective, because if we allow them back in leadership positions, if we allow them back into the presidency or Congress or even ambassadorship, then we're guilty by association. That looks like agreement or alignment with the things that Donald Trump has done if we allow this to happen again. Everything that Donald Trump has done on a global scale is now attached to the Republican identity. You got to keep that in mind. I said months ago, that whole thing with Greenland, when they were sending out those threats to our allies, that this was going to blow up in the United States' faces, and it was going to be an issue down the line if they needed a favor done. Imagine your best friend slap you in public and call you a bitch, but 5 minutes later they getting jumped and expect you to jump in. You probably gonna walk in the other direction. You might join in on the ass whooping. That is exactly what this Republican administration has done to long-standing relationships and connections that we've had for a very long time. I'm talking decades. On every level, Republicans have been running wild. I'm talking about all through the executive. Let's see, they let ICE run wild in the United States. They building basically concentration camps everywhere. They went down into Venezuela and kidnapped Maduro, talking about drug charges when really all they were looking for was the oil. The deportation process has been absolutely horrible. They're sending the wrong people down to CCOT, and they're also sending others to the wrong nation, along with women and girls missing. They threatened military action on Greenland, which belongs to Denmark, who is an ally. Threatening military action in Cuba. Got military action going on in Nigeria. And we ain't even got to mention what's going on in Iran right now. What's going on in Iran right now is a global economic problem. This is Republican politics.
Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.